that were that hard. I've fallen down many times, but I got mad hard. You see, I'm in it to win it.
Hey YouTube, we are back here at Mexican Lee's Therapy Garage. It's been a little while. Had a few things going on. My parents came to visit. The accidents my wife was in, getting her new vehicles. You know, just a few things that kind of kept me out of the shop, which is fine. Family comes first. But now we are back. Got a few things that I had to wait on too. I ordered some parts, had to wait on parts to come in. So little things here and there. The bad weather up north hindered a few things too. So we're back in the shop. I'm gonna go ahead and get the rear axle installed. I'm gonna videotape that, get some footage of it. I ended up taking a few things apart, painted them. I got the rear axle already rebuilt. That was already done. Touched up a few of the spots, got that set up. It is filled. Put the gear oil in it, so that's ready to go. I got all my brake parts ordered that came in. I got all new shocks, bolts, cleaned them up. Those are ready for paint. Once I install everything, then I'll go ahead and paint them. The sway bar was pretty nasty. I cleaned it up, got it painted yesterday. This, my rotors, or no, the drums, the brake drums, I got those painted inside and out. They were still, like I said, they were new. They were just rusty from sitting. The car was sitting outside in the weather for a couple years. So all I had to do was get them turned real quick. They barely shaved them, just cleaned them up, and I let them soak in Evaporust for a couple days. So I got them cleaned up and painted. Also, what else? I got all my brake lines, new brake lines, and new emergency brake cables, the kit from Inline Tube. So I'll put those part numbers in the description. The only thing I was going to get a new I guess you could say it's the vent line for the gas tank. I think I'm gonna just clean mine up. It's not rusty. I'm gonna just clean it up and paint it silver to match the brake lines. They already have a coating on them, so that should save them from getting rusty. I just got to clean up all the clamps that will that hold both of the lines together. I'm gonna go ahead and clean those up and paint those silver. That'll be a different video because I do want to videotape that footage, putting the emergency brake cables on, getting all that situated. But let me turn the camera around. Let me show you what I got. As far as the parts, I'll put all the different parts that I used. I'll put those part numbers in the description. I didn't video the rest of the front end assembly because it was pretty much just the sway bar, which I cleaned up and painted. New sway bar bushings, got those done. I ended up having to take my calipers in and get them warrantied out. These already come now with the gray coating on them that's supposed to stop them from rusting, so I didn't paint those. I installed them just now. Got the shocks installed. So everything on the front end now is new and installed. Got the gearbox. I didn't get a new one. I'll do that later. I didn't have the money to get a new one yet, so I'm going to use this one now, just for mock-up. And then once the car is done and ready, then I'll switch out the gearbox if it needs be. So like I said, got the sway bar done, bushings, all the steering arms, everything's cleaned up and painted. Got the new shock installed, the stabilizer shock for the steering. All the grease fittings are filled with grease, fresh grease. Sway bar links are installed, all Moog parts. So the front end is pretty much done. All that's all set. So now we are going to move on to the back and go ahead and get this rear end done and installed. And then I'm getting the same video. I'm gonna put the brakes together. That way the whole rear end, back end will be complete. and completely installed, finished. And I may also include the lines and the cables in the same video. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see how this goes. I don't want to take up too much time getting this done. Once that rear end is done, then we'll go ahead and get the motor off of the stand, bolt it up to the transmission, get the get my drive shaft cleaned up, and get all that drive line and everything situated and installed, dropped back in the car, well, frame. We'll get all that situated, and I may also clean up the exhaust and put the exhaust on together on the frame while it's sitting. That way I won't have to get underneath the car once it's done and get to welding or bolting or whatever. It'll already be done and installed on the frame. My wheels, I'm still debating on getting my new wheels now that the holidays are pretty much over with. Here goes the drums. Painted those yesterday. All the little brake hardware that goes inside, I painted all that. Don't need it, but I just wanted to. But like I said, my wheels, I want to get them sandblasted, but I still need to get rings for them. I already got the centers, I just need rings. They're 15 by 8s. So I'm still kind of debating on putting the money into those wheels and getting tires, which I already have a 5th rim and tire, brand new. I may just go ahead and put the rallies on it, but at the same time, I want some 15 or 17 by 9 wire wheels. That's going to be my wheels that of choice that I want on here. But then at the same time too, I want some of those black, all black. They have just the holes all the way around them. I don't know, rock crusher type wheel, but they're all solid black. Steel, if I can find them in aluminum, I'd love to get them in aluminum, but I want a reverse offset. I want a deep dish wheel. So if I can find those, then I'll get those. Instead of my rallies, I'll sell them. But for now, let's go ahead and get this sway bar situated. And here goes all the parts. These are the shock bolts that are gonna get put on with the shocks. Like I said, all the little brake levers, left and right, that go inside. I painted those. This is the rear brake hose that's gonna go from the middle of the frame down to the axle. Brake Best, part number BH86576. Then this is a AZZ brake kit that I ordered. I wanted the adjusters and all the little levers that go inside, as well as all the springs. So this is the one that I found. AZZ 18K 3345. AZZ part number. Then we got the wheel cylinders. Brake Best, part number WC 51081. These were the rear bumpers that I put on the axle. Mine, I only had one, so I bought new ones from Inline Tube. That part number is INL 10955. Two of them come with that in the package. So I got those installed. This here is, oh, the little, can't remember what they're called, but they go inside the wheel cylinders and clamp onto the brake. That's what pushes the brakes. So I got all those new, 4 of those. This here was the sway bar bushings for the front. Precision parts from O'Reilly's, K6161. That's for the sway bar bushings up front. And then this was the sway bar link kit. These were Moog K700532. Got that situated. Monroe shocks. That's it for the parts. And one more thing, I think that was it. So let's go ahead and cut you off for a second. I'm gonna get some of this going, and then we'll cut you back on here in a minute. All right, cut you back on for a second. You got the rear axle under here, but what I need to do is I need to take out all the bolts off of the arms, tops and bottoms, get those out the way, put a little bit of grease in here, that way they slide in there easily on the tops and bottoms. I think the tops will fit real easy, maybe a little bit snug, but I'm gonna put just a little bit of grease on them. That way they slide in pretty decent. If you're wondering, those are my cups that I built out of muffler pipe and some thick washers, just to kind of give the car a small rake, raise the back end up just a little. It's only 1 inch. So let me get that situated and then we'll cut you back on. All right, YouTube, we're back on. I'm gonna go ahead and get these shock bolts installed on the bottom of the rear axle. I got all 4 bolts installed. It was a little rough doing it by myself, but they're all in there. So now I'm gonna go ahead and install the shock bolt and get the shock installed, just so it can hold the rear end, but I'm also gonna put the rear springs in. So we'll see how much of a load I can get in there, and then get that done. And I'll probably go ahead and torque all the rear bolts down. I know I said before I wasn't gonna torque all the arms down in the front, but I may do the back just so it holds it decently tight. So when I move it around, roll it around, it's not bouncing around too much. And then once after I get the car pretty much completed, I'll loosen everything up, set everything on jack stands as far as the weight of the car on the axle in the arms. Then I'll go ahead and loosen the back up, let it get its preload, and then torque everything down, tighten it up, torque it down. And then once all the weight is in the front, then I'll do the same with the front. But I don't have to loosen the front because I never tightened it. It's just on there. The ball joints are tight, but the lower and control arm bolts aren't tight. So let me go ahead and get that done, and we'll cut you back on. All right, YouTube, we're back. Got the springs in. I'm not gonna go ahead and tighten the arms down. The springs with the spacers that I made, it actually holds that rear end there pretty tight. So I'm not gonna have to tighten them bolts down. I'll snug them a little bit, but I'm not gonna tighten them all the way down. I tried lifting up on the axle so I can install my shocks, and I can't. That spring load on them springs without no weight on the back end, I can't get them springs to compress enough to get that my shocks installed. So I'm gonna let them hang like that for now. I will snug up the bolts, like I said, on the control arms, upper and lowers. Next will be the sway bar. I'm gonna get that connected, tightened down, and then I'll start situating and getting the brakes, the brake kit, the wheel cylinders, and the brake lines ready. But I think that's going to be the next video. So for now, this video will be finished. Like I said, I wish I could. The only way I can get them shocks to go on now is if I get some extensions and bolt them up here at the top, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do 1 inch or 2 inch if I do that, because I know once I put the body back on the car, put my speaker box in the trunk, that's going to weigh that back end down to where them shocks aren't going to fully extend anyways. But we'll see how it goes. I may order at least the 1 inch extensions, and then go from there. They're pretty cheap, so if I need to buy 2 inch, then I'll go 2 inch or 1.5 inches. But like I said, that cup that I made at the bottom is 1 inch tall. So that's the rear axle installed. Like I said, front end is totally done. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and stop for the evening, go in the house, give me something to eat, and then I may come back out here tonight to get this vent tube for the gas tank cleaned up and get that prepped for paint. But I am gonna go ahead and install the sway bar, get that done, and then be done for the night. Just organize all my brake parts, get them on the left side, right side, whatever's going where, and then that'll be the next video. So again, thanks for tuning in. Mexican Lee's Therapy Garage. Please, like I say before, like, comment, subscribe, leave me some comments below, ask questions. Let me know what you think I might be doing wrong or easier way to do this. Like I said, I'm not AZZ certified. I'm not, you know, I just backyard boogie. This is what I do for therapy. It's what I love doing. So again, thank you for watching, and we'll get with you later. Have a good one.
Time I picked up all the pieces. It's over straight ahead. Let me out of this cage. I'm not listening no more. 'Cause you're the one that's ruled, and you're gonna regret this life. All your words I'ma soon forget. So far between the lines, I'ma write a new set, a new beginning. Reflecting on the times that were that hard. I've fallen down many times, but I